Yes.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Fourth Presbyterian Church of Chicago. My name is Michael Reese, and I'm the Acting Director of Music here at Fourth Church. I'm delighted to welcome all of you to today's Friday Noonday Concert, whether you are joining us here in the sanctuary or online. Today's concert is presented by pianist Amy Wurtz, but we have free Friday concerts every Friday of the year here at Fourth Church, so we invite you to come back next week for a violin concert with Rabia Brooke. To keep this concert series going year-round, we do rely upon your support, and so we gratefully accept any donations you're able to make following today's concert on your way out. Now, please silence your cell phones and join me in welcoming Amy Wurtz.
Thank you so much. Isn't that piece just full of joy? That is exactly why I picked it today. This is my sub-theme, joy and piano. This is a toccata by J.S. Bach, the oldest composer on our program. And it is traditional in the way that it is very Baroque. It had a fugue at the end. It had a lot of finger work. It had 3 movements, which were fast, slow, and fast. But beyond that, it really showcased the piano and what it can do. And that is one of the reasons why I chose the composers that I did to include on my program today. If you notice, I have a somewhat unusual title, Who We Are Not, meaning we are all very different. The composers on this program are very different, lived in different times throughout history, different countries, but there's a through line through it all. And so this is what I'm hoping to represent, all the different people in the world who might be listening or doing other things right now. Even though they are across time, across countries, we have a through line in our shared humanity. So with that in mind, I'm going to take us to the current century. Jeffrey Mumford is our next composer. He lives in Ohio, and he literally called me up one day and said, "Hey, do you want to play my music?" And I said, "Maybe. Let me take a look." And I had this concert coming up, and so I said, "Yes, I will play your music." Jeffrey Mumford is a professor in Ohio. He has worked in many different universities. He's very awarded. His music is played by major orchestras throughout the world. The piece that we're going to play is very, very short. And so I'm going to play it back to back with the Rachmaninoff, which follows. I'll just give you one of the common themes that I heard between these two pieces is their use of layers. Jeffrey Mumford has pieces, some of their titles are layered or ringing, and he is very aware of the different sounds you can create, even just with one instrument. Same thing goes with Rachmaninoff. I'm sure many of you have heard of Rachmaninoff before. He is the quintessential pianist composer, has so many works for piano alone. The piece that I'm going to play by Rachmaninoff is not one of the more technical pieces, it is instead one of the more lyrical pieces. Also has so many layers in it, melody, bass line, extra things. So this is my juxtaposition for you, piece by Jeffrey Mumford, written in honor of his teacher, Elliott Carter. More about that later. And then followed by Rachmaninoff. Thank you so much. Thank you. And before I forget, I want to thank Fourth Presbyterian Church for having me here. It is a joy to play in this building. I'm actually here many times a week, and it's always just such a lovely and welcoming place to be. So I'm so glad that they have this concert series and that I get to play this music for you. We are moving on now back to the current century with the youngest composer on our program. Her name is Nina Shaker. She is what I would say a rising star, or maybe even a hotshot in the new music world. She has just taken off right from the beginning, winning prizes as a teenager, composing music. She is currently all over the world, has huge orchestras such as the LA Philharmonic, the New York Philharmonic, and yes, even the Chicago Symphony Orchestra playing her pieces. So I wanted to include her on this program to just get a very youthful, vibrant, fresh take on things. You can read in the program the poems that she wrote to inspire these pieces. I do not know whether the poetry came first or the music came first, but I don't think it really matters. This is a set of pieces called Postcards. We're going to hear the middle two movements, On an Old Sidewalk and Merry-Go-Round. I love these for the nostalgia that they evoke. Many of us have ridden a merry-go-round before, and her poetry talks about other things which you may or may not remember. It's a lovely use of open-ended poetry. You can fill in the blank, literally. And I'm very excited to play just these two short pieces for you by Nina Shaker. Thank you. I love how that kind of starts out as a music box and then ends up, I don't know, maybe we fall off the merry-go-round at the end. All right, so you might be looking at your watch like, oh my gosh, there's only one more piece. This is going to be a short concert. No, it is not going to be a short concert. The next piece is very special to me for so many reasons. Probably, I've been working on it for a very long time. This piece is a brand new piece. This is the first public presentation of the sonata in its entirety. It was a commission by Linda Winke, who is sitting right here. If you could just raise your hand. I've known Linda for many years, and one day she just came in and said, Amy, here you go. I want you to write a piece for me. And I said, okay. And she said, in honor of my mother, and that's kind of all the restrictions that she put on me. And otherwise, it was just up to me to write how I wanted to write in honor of her mother. We had a couple conversations about Barbara Slivka, or her married name, Barbara Winke, and I was very interested and overjoyed to hear what Linda had to say about her mother, and delighted that I connected because I almost could have been talking about my own mother with some of the things that she mentioned. Linda's overarching theme was that she wanted it to be full of joy. And so you will hear that, especially as we get to the final movement of the sonata. And of course, that brings us back to my first piece, which was also full of joy, also written in 3 movements. So these are kind of the bookends of my concert today. I also wanted to add a couple things, that this piece also is in memoriam of Linda's mother, just like the Jeffrey Mumford piece was in memoriam of his teacher, Elliot Carter. I also wanted to say it has been a true joy to work as a composer under commission. This is something that doesn't happen every day for a working composer. So now that I've got this piece done, if anybody else would like to commission a piece, I'm available. But in all seriousness, I think commissioning a piece of music to honor someone's memory is just one of the most special, somewhat unusual, and wonderful things you can do. So I have been deeply honored and very invested in this piece. You'll see the titles in the program, so I won't elaborate on those. It is 3 movements, roughly fast, slow, and fast. If any of you have a mother, have a daughter, or you are a mother, or you are a daughter, which I hope covers almost 100% of the people in this room, you'll know that these relationships can also get quite complicated, and so I believe that is also represented in this piece, as are many of the other themes I mentioned in the title, or that you might think of when you think of those subjects. So, I will not speak afterwards. I will say all of the composers on the program today are very findable. You can just search their names on the internet. If I inspire you to go and hear more music by Jeffrey Mumford or Nina Shaker or Rachmaninoff or Bach or myself, I will consider this concert a success. There is so much music in the world, especially right here in Chicago, and there's always someone to listen to. So thank you to every single person here for being here to listen today. Also to the people online, I truly appreciate your attention and listening. Here we go.